Unfortunately, doctors don't look at teeth. There's very little awareness of metal toxicology.
When I was 12 years old, I got braces put on.
Sick people from all over New Zealand seek him out.
After that, I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue and I was in bed for 2 years.
Natalie has had a range of chronic illnesses since age 12. She's had no joy with the mainstream medical system.
This is something that has affected my life and I've had to live with it for so long. And just the level of people not understanding and not being able to get anything done to it.
This is why I get up every morning. People like you, you're not the only one.
Are we reading anything?
No.
Like Hal Huggins, Dr. Godfrey has had studies published internationally, and like Hal Huggins, he too has felt the backlash from the dental and medical establishments.
You get marginalised, you get ostracised, you're left out on your own.
So have people you know of been hammered, if I can put it like that, by the establishment?
Of course there are.
So there's dentists and doctors?
Of course.
In New Zealand?
Some years ago, a bunch of dentists and a couple of GPs here lodged a complaint with the council against me for my pushing that amalgam could be poisonous.
Is there any chance that the New Zealand Dental Association is just incapable of looking outside the square that they've been in for such a long time?
The NZDA isn't a stubborn association that's not going to move. We will move as the evidence becomes available.
There's been evidence enough for a number of European countries to either phase out or heavily restrict the use of amalgam fillings. Meantime, in New Zealand, our association states, and I quote, "A dentist who suggests that the removal of amalgam has the capacity to cure or alleviate diseases, infections or other conditions is acting unethically." Our dental school in Otago continues to train dentists to put amalgam fillings in, and our association vehemently defends its position.
I am, as an occupational exposure, getting quite a high level of mercury every day for the last 20 odd years. Now, dentists and dental assistants, as an occupation, they don't have higher incidences of all of these conditions that Hal Huggins say are caused by dental amalgam.
It's a long-standing position that Western dental associations have taken to say that mercury is safe. And
Dr. Linda Jones from Massey's School of Psychology is also critical of the New Zealand Dental Association.
I don't think that they have taken into account some of the very recent studies, including mine, that show particularly that patients who've been diagnosed medically with mercury poisoning have recovered health when they've had their amalgams removed, and I don't think they necessarily keep up to date with the case studies published of dentists and dental assistants who've suffered from mercury poisoning. Right, so this is the little test that we were going to try.
One of her studies monitored 32 people who had their amalgam fillings removed.
I mean, they'd gone from losing work, relationships, financial hardship, to, the expression I often use is lying around in darkened rooms praying to die, to back in relationships, back in work, productive members of society. And all it took was somebody diagnosing mercury poisoning through a urine test, having their amalgams out, and a detox.
The New Zealand Dental Association claim results like this are caused by the placebo effect.
I'm not saying it's all in your head, but for a fair number of cases, I think that's what we can use to explain the fact these people are miraculously getting better from an activity that has no sound scientific basis.
Try telling Chad Beckett his recovery was psychological. He's convinced having his amalgams removed restored his health.
I tried so many other things, and I was expecting so many things from other treatments, and nothing helped. And when I came to have my amalgams out, I didn't have any expectations at all, and I felt fantastic. So there's no way in the world that that was a placebo effect from when I had my amalgams out. But it's an easy way to palm it off as well, isn't it, to say, oh, that's just a placebo effect.
Anti-amalgam campaigners in the States are just this month claiming victory, saying more than half of all American dentists are now mercury-free. Even so, there's a long way to go to prove their case. Why is your research not being taken seriously?
It's being taken seriously by a lot of people. It's being taken seriously more every day. But still, there is a problem with total acceptance. And the reason for that is money, liability. The liability, because the dental associations are saying mercury's perfectly safe, put it in.
They certainly are.
From
They are
the legal
saying
standpoint, that's not going to wash. When the information gets out, according to U.S. Congress, it's going to be a whole lot bigger issue than the tobacco industry they just finished. Because with a cigarette, you can put it out, but if somebody puts a mercury filling in your mouth, you can't take it out when you go to bed at night.
you seriously believe that this issue is as big as the tobacco issue?
As big as? No, no, no. Much bigger.